Hi, thank you. Thank you so much. I'm so happy and honored to be here. Grateful to be able to share with you today. I've got a lot to share and I've got 20 minutes to do it. So let's get down to it. So I want to talk to you, remarkable people. You know who you are. Those of you who excel at managing countless tasks, juggling multiple responsibilities, and tirelessly serving others. You're the backbone of your communities, the pillars of strength for those around you. You wear many hats and you wear it well. You may be doing all of this behind the scenes, but in the middle of all this, there's something that keeps getting overlooked. It's like an invisible elephant in the room, and others may not be able to see it, but you know it's there, and you're really good at compensating for it. Now, I want to talk to you because I think I might know you. I am you, and I'm here to advocate for you because that elephant that really wants to get out of the room, be let out, it's not going to be able to do it with the same tools that you're using now. See, this is what it looked like to wear all those hats for me. People who've known me a long time think of me as a high achiever. Whenever I was in school, I was on the honor rolls and the dean's list. So I wore hats. I was the first in my immediate family to earn a 4-year degree. So I wore a hat. I was the first serial entrepreneur in my family. I tried 3 different businesses. This is my 3rd one. So I wear a hat. I spent the last 3 decades helping thousands and thousands of clients and patients from all walks of life in the health and wellness industry to restore their health, feel better in their body, find balance in their life, earn some money so they can do whatever they're doing in this world. And I'm a good mom. So I wear the hat. Yeah, my sons are decent and respectable young men. But this is how people know me, see? But what I don't want them to know, or what I didn't want them to know, is that keeping myself busy, achieving, was because I didn't want to feel guilty or be thought of as selfish if I take the time and the resources to pour into myself. You see, I didn't want to shine too brightly. You see, with these hats, I could be colorful, I could be helpful, but I could still cover up. And I got it honest. I'm an only child. And when I was growing up, children were seen and not heard. And because I'm an only child, I always had to prove that I'm not selfish. I'm not showing off. I'm not spoiled. And so I became more like of a helper, a behind the scenes person, a people pleaser. No, no, no. I don't want the spotlight. I'll help you shine. And that was until I lost everything. All the good things that I busied myself doing and worked hard to have so others could be good, I lost it. Now, you see, I've had a lot of Jesus, come to Jesus moments in my life, and I'm sure there's going to be more to come from here. But in this particular moment that I'm remembering was pivotal for me. It was late summer, early fall of 2007. I was in Southern California. I was working 2 jobs, raising my 2 sons, buying my second home, starting a business to help people avoid losing their homes during the housing market crash at that time. All the while, I was facing losing my home because I was upside down on my mortgage. And so that was the story I gave. I'm here to help you because I can't help myself. How many times do we do that? Now, this particular day that I'm thinking about, I was sitting across from my supervisor when I heard those words that made me leave my body. She said, "You're terminated as of today." Is she serious? You mean to tell me I'm losing my home and now they're firing me? They don't even have valid grounds. I mean, I hear what they're saying, but it doesn't feel real. It doesn't make sense. Why would God let this happen? And now? And why is she crying? I know one thing, I got to get out of this office. So you don't have to cry for me. God has bigger plans for me. Here I go. I'm still helping. Here I am. I'm being swept. Everything is being swept from under me. And I'm consoling the person with the broom. So I had no idea what I was saying, what it meant that God has bigger plans or what that would even look like. But I just knew I wasn't going to let her know how humiliated I was in that moment. You see, it's easy to get caught up in the hustle and the bustle of life, constantly giving yourself to others without taking the time to invest in your own knowledge and growth and development until sometimes it's too late. And you might be incredibly skilled at managing a whole lot of people, doing a lot of things for a lot of people, and that's good. But are you truly becoming the greatest version of yourself in the process? Are you setting yourself up to be a victim of circumstance? So, not only was I fired that day, y'all, I was escorted back to my car by my manager. Escorted. I remember that walk to my car seemed like the longest walk ever. And all I knew when I got in the car, feeling like I was at rock bottom, was God, if I have nothing else in this world, nothing, I got God and I got me. And that was just going to have to be enough in that moment to help me get my life back together. And so that's what I did. Now, this process of getting back on my feet, it wasn't overnight. Overnight was actually 6 years, but it was still in that moment, in that time, I was still caught up in like doing. And that's all I knew, do, get it done. And I would have a few more signs that I was still not quite getting it. Signs like getting to be over 200 pounds, and I'm only 5'4", having low energy, my 2 jobs. And I used to love this saying. I used to say, I'm not just burning the candle on both ends, I'm melting the whole candle down. And I thought that was cute. I thought it was a badge of honor to work hard, to be strong, right? And I was 49 and conscious that if I didn't do something different with my lifestyle, something radically different, I would go into my 50s and start having health complications. That's the statistics. It runs in my family, and I didn't want that. So I had to get radical. I found a lifestyle program where I could finally start working on me. Now, I felt guilty about that initial investment, but all I knew, I just wanted to feel comfortable in my body again. And I just really wanted to start treating myself like I wanted to be here, healthy for a long time and for me. So I enrolled in the program, and without dieting, I lost 50 pounds in my first 7 months. That was 10 years ago. And I learned how to keep it off. But the real beauty of the process that I've been in for a decade has been not just learning how to nourish my body so that it functions properly and allows me to do the things that I'm called to do on a higher level. The most powerful thing is once I learned how to feel better in this temple, sleep better, move better, that was the catalyst to my healing in all other areas. Personally, professionally, spiritually, everything got lighter. And mind you, my circumstances weren't always better, but it was the way I carried it and the way I showed up in it. I wasn't carrying it on my body anymore, and I wasn't carrying it in my spirit. The way I was showing up in it was more empowered. And that's what I noticed was better. And that's all I could control, my choices. And I was learning what wholeness looks like for me. And my wholeness didn't have to look like someone else's version of wholeness. And once I embodied that, like I mentioned, that's something that I knew nobody could ever take away from me, divorce from me, kick me out of, or fire me from. That was true empowerment. And it doesn't take all those hats. Now, my story doesn't end there at the weight loss. In 2020, during the pandemic, when the world was quiet, God remembered me, y'all. He gave me another house. And not just another house, but a bigger house. And not just a bigger house. It was almost half the price of the house I lost a dozen years before, right? Isaiah 61:7 says, because you got a double dose of trouble and more than your share of contempt, your inheritance in the land will be doubled and your joy go on forever. So my story continues. And that's why I'm here. And I don't say that to hype up what happened to me. And I know that all these circumstances and anything that I'm going to go through in the future is a reminder that it's happening not just for me, but through me, to remind those that I'm supposed to reach. That whoever this resonates with, if God could see me and remember little old me in my little old house with my little old business, then surely he sees you. And he sees that elephant and he sees those hats and all that cover up, and he hasn't forgotten you. He's just waiting for you to show up for you. Now get this, I hope you've caught this, that my turnaround didn't truly begin on a deeper level until I said yes for showing up for me. That's where I found was the true place of surrender. No caps, pun intended. Now, I don't know what your beliefs are, and I'm not here to impose my spiritual beliefs on you, but I refer to the Bible to illustrate certain principles that are true, just true for all of us humans. In the Bible, our greatest commandment is to love God, and the second commandment is to love ourselves. Right. I know. I didn't see it either until I saw it. It says to love God with all your heart, all your soul, all your mind, and to love your neighbor as yourself. That means love your neighbor like it's you. So we may have a tendency, because of the order of the sentence, to think that loving your neighbor is ahead of loving yourself. But think about this. If you're burning that candle down, just burning, melting the whole thing and loving yourself, but you're on half empty, then you're all of your love is half. Now, how about you? Do you want somebody to put half effort into loving you? What would you tell somebody who is half blank loving you? And why would we want to do that to somebody else? Why would we want to do that to others? We just got it backwards. So can you see that self-care and self-love really is high priority on the list? And I'm not talking about a spa treatment or getting your hair done, getting your nails done, and all of that is well and good. Yes, do that. Vacation, yes, take some time, take a time out. But I'm talking about going after your greatness, that elephant, all the things, doing that deep dive, digging, that inner work, the transformational work on ourselves, which, by the way, includes making better choices about our health. And it may even start there for most people. That's not a selfish act. It's sacred. Your self-love, or lack of it, it's going to diffuse through every way that you show up in this life. How you think, how you behave, how you treat others, it stems from how you love and care for yourself. And whatever business you're in, or whether you're not in business, and just how you show up affects others. And if you want to affect people on a transformational level, you have got to do the work to transform yourself. Be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind. You got to do the work. So serious about that. And you got to keep doing it. And I want to share with you some key tips that can help you not only manage all your good responsibilities more effectively, but also make space to manage your own self-care in any situation. You don't have to go on vacation to do it. You can do it wherever you are, so you can walk out the calling on your life at the highest level. And I imagine that if you're here at this summit, you most likely believe that you're called, or you need to be called to the type of business or the work that you do in this world, and it needs to be purposeful. And that being said, making it a habit to strive for your greatest self from now on is a non-negotiable, and it's purposeful. You affect others by the way you show up. And that doesn't necessarily mean you do more, but you become more. Do what you do from an expanded, healed place and see the difference that makes, not just in you, but around you. Now, here are 7 tips for how to infuse self-care as a top priority in your life. I'm gonna do these pretty fast because running out of time, so take some quick notes or watch the replay. Number 1, identify. Identify and decide on one area of your life that you want to change or improve. It could be your physical health, your mental well-being, your relationships, or your career. Whatever it may be, pinpoint one specific area at a time. And that will allow you to focus your energy and efforts more effectively and reach mastery in one area before you focus on the next. Pro tip: if you focus on mastering one area of your life, it's naturally going to speed up the time it takes you to master other areas of your life. You've got to slow down to speed up. So just start somewhere. Number 2, invest in yourself. Commit to a deeper dive. Hire a mentor, a coach, or get a qualified accountability partner so that person can provide you with guidance and feedback and support you as you work towards your goals. Having somebody to lean on and hold you accountable can make all the difference in staying on track and making meaningful progress. Iron sharpens iron. 3, inspect. Take a moment, check your circle of support. Are the people around you lifting you up and encouraging your growth, or are they holding you back? Surrounding yourself with individuals who support your journey and inspire you to be the best version of yourself. And don't be afraid to tighten up your circle if necessary, because sometimes you need to let go of relationships that no longer serve your highest good, or you can at least put them on pause. Everybody can't go with you. Number 4, integrate. Use tools and resources that give you structure and help you stay consistent for the long haul in your efforts. Whether it's a fitness mindset or spiritual app, journaling, time management, meal plans, find what works for you. Find something that can last, something that is healthy long-term, and stick with it. Don't jump out of the plane. And don't keep changing planes. Just get where you're going so you can have the experience that you want to get when you get there. Consistency is key to long-term success. Number 5, inspire. Don't be afraid to show and tell somebody how you did it and help them do it too. Sharing your successful journey not only reinforces your own commitment, but it also allows you to inspire and uplift those around you. We rise by lifting others. 6, iterate. Repeat this process over and over again. Each time you have something that you want to work on, evolve. Personal growth and the path to greatness is not a one and done. It's a lifelong journey. It's expanding. As you continue to invest in yourself, you'll find Not only do you become greater and greater versions of yourself, but you also create space for others to do so and for God to restore your life in ways you never thought possible. You won't even see it coming. Imperfect, number 7, do it messy. Imperfect progress is better than no progress. Liza Turkhurst, an author and speaker, says, there's a beautiful thing called imperfect progress. It comes when we take slow steps of progress wrapped in grace. And that's what it's all about. Just bubble wrap yourself in grace and just keep going. So I urge you, my fellow multitaskers, caretakers, high achievers, hat wearers, just take one at a time, play bigger. It doesn't matter what you earn. I'm not talking about that. It doesn't matter what titles and accolades you have. Not talking about that, or how many people follow you or not. There's always another level. There's always more depth. If how you're living is at the expense of you continuing the work on becoming the greatest version of you, hear me, you are selling yourself and others short. I do not know where I would be if my mentors decided to sell themselves short instead of doing what they needed to do to become the greatest version of themselves, and then turn around and just crack the door open for me. I don't even know some of these people, but they have changed my life. I believe God placed them there to do that. And so what do I look like to not pay that forward? And what do you look like to hold back what was given to you? We are so interconnected as humans that how you treat you affects someone else that you may not ever even know or ever meet decades later. That's how powerful this is. So take the time to invest in yourself. Keep going, trust the process every step of the way. And I'm right along with you on the journey. And I don't know if we're a good fit to work together, but if we are, I'd love to partner with you. And whether we go forward from here or not, I have a gift for you. It's a free wellness evaluation. So go through it. I'm going to share the QR code in a minute. Go through it, answer all the questions as truthfully as possible, and grade yourself. And that's going to give you an idea where to begin. Take your results through the 7 steps that I mentioned and do it again with the next result. Now, there's no one size fits all plan, so I can work with you on that. And when you take the wellness evaluation, I'll reach out and I'm going to invite you to schedule a complimentary coaching call with me. Then that's where I can answer all your questions and we can go from there, because there's so much more. And finally, I'm going to leave you with this from the Bible. Dear friend, I pray that you may enjoy good health and that all may go well with you, even as your soul is getting along well. Blessings. Hang on. I am going to share my screen, if I may. Let me do this here. Let me do this here. Do this here. And boom, there's my QR code. Take a minute and scan that. And have a blessed day. Thank you.